Okay guys, here's a video on topic 23B, and in your area packets it says area of composite figures. A composite figure is just multiple figures that are put together and create one picture. So for instance, if I look at number 2, I can see that my composite figure is made up of two angles. If I look at number 1, it kind of looks like there's maybe like a rectangle connected to a trapezoid, and over here it kind of looks like I have two rectangles, but not quite exactly. We'll get there. I'm going to do these three with you. You're going to do the next side by yourself. So the purpose or the way to solve composite figures is to start by breaking up your shape into shapes that you know how to find the area of. So if I look at number 1 and I were to put in a perpendicular line there, I now have a rectangle and a trapezoid. And my total area is equal to the area of my rectangle plus the area of my trapezoid. Sometimes we use little subscripts, so like the area equals the sum of the other two smaller areas, so the area of the total is equal to the area of the rectangle plus the area of the trapezoid. Okay, well let's start with the area of the rectangle. It's going to be base times height. Okay, well I could use this as my base. It has a length of 5. The height is 6.5. So the area of my rectangle is 32.5. Okay, that's taken care of. If you even want to do a little like check, you can. Now let's do the area of the trapezoid. Well, we know that the area of a trapezoid is 1/2 height base 1 plus base 2. Okay, well for the trapezoid, my height, so remember height has to be perpendicular, so we know that this has to be the height because it's perpendicular to this base and it's perpendicular. So we know that this whole thing is 16, right? And we've already used 6.5 of it up, so if I take 6.5 away from 16, I'm left with a length of 9. Wait a minute, I think I did that wrong. Nope, I'm good. Sorry, guys. So 9.5 is my height. And now I need an average of the base, or sorry, I'm going to add the two bases together. So this base for the trapezoid is going to be 5. This base is 14. So if I plug that into my calculator, I get 90.25. And this has all been in meters. So my lengths are meters, so my unit is going to be meters squared. Okay. So now I can do my total area. Running out of space here. Is going to be plus the area of the trapezoid. And I get 152.75 meters squared. Okay, so now let's do number 2. This is a composite figure of two triangles together, so I really just need to find the area of this triangle and then find the area of this triangle and add them together. So let's do the area of triangle 1. I'll call this triangle 1, I'll call this triangle 2. Okay, so the area of triangle 1 is 1/2 base times height. Ooh, okay, so this is kind of tricky. They didn't give us just this portion, right? So we need to think about this another way. So let's actually cross this off. Let's see if we can think about this another way. There's a couple ways you could do this. I'm going to do this. This shape right here, and I'm going to choose that this is going to be perpendicular to both. That's a rectangle, right? If I can find the area of that whole, or in this case it's actually a square, if I can take the area of that whole square and subtract out this part, then I'll have what's left will be the sum of the area of those two triangles. So let's do that. So the area of the square is 14 times 14, that's 196. Okay, now I'm going to do the area of the shaded triangle. Well, that's going to be 1/2 base times height. So for this, the base of this triangle, this thing here, is going to be 14. The height of this triangle, it's got to be perpendicular. The perpendicular height is also 14. So notice this triangle is literally going to be half the size of the rectangle. Okay. So to find the area of this, I'm going to take the area of the rectangle minus the area of the shaded triangle. And that gives me a grand total of 98 feet squared left over for the two white portions. Okay. Okay, number 3 of another composite shape. There's a handful of ways you could do this one. Let's see. I'm going to break it up like this. Okay. So I have 3 shapes. This thing here is going to be 25 by 5. So here, I'll call this 1, part 2, part 3. So for part 1, the area of this rectangle is going to be base times height. The base is 5, the height is 25, so my area is going to be 120. Okay, number 2. This is going to be 5, right? Because that's 5. This goes up 25. This side goes up 30. That means I have 5 left over here. So like just from here to here, that's going to be 5 centimeters. Okay, and then for part 3, this is going to be, okay, well, wait a minute. This whole thing is 25. 5 got used up, so this left over here is going to be 20 centimeters. So that's going to give me 100 centimeters squared. So my total area is going to be the sum of all these pieces. So that'll give me a grand total of 250 centimeters squared. Okay, there you go. See if you can do the next couple by yourself. Remember, the big goal is to take the shape that you have and split it into shapes that you can find the area of. In the case of number 2, there's a lot of ways you can do this one, but instead I said, okay, I can figure out what all of this is, and I can figure out the area of what I don't want. So sometimes it's better to take the area of what you don't want and subtract it away from a big total you can find easily. So that's just 3 ways to do it. See if you can do the next 9. Those will be your challenge. And then there's one more kind of problem at the end you'll have to look at. Good luck, guys.